Okay. Am I live? Looks like my video looks like my chat isn't working. So let me do a little double check. Make sure that I'm actually on here. I've been having internet trouble all day today. And actually, when I was watching when I was watching AEW here today, I had to watch it on my phone. My goodness, what kind of madness do we live in here? Okay. All right, looks like we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. I'm Chronix from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for October 21st, 2020. It is Lee Debonair. They're going to have a steak dinner here tonight with Chris Jericho. But you know what? I didn't have a steak dinner. No, I did watch one, however. I had a bruschetta zucchini boat. And allow me to pull up my chat on my phone since it's not loading on my computer. It is absolutely the worst that I have experienced. But first, we had the World Title Tournament. You got to do your World Title Tournaments, right? And we're starting off with Wardlow and Jungle Boy. And my phone isn't working either. Okay, we're going to do this anyways, although I cannot see my screen. But I do have my notes, and that's all I need. Is this correct? I think so. Wardlow, he dominates Jungle Boy here in this match, but Jungle Boy, he's still swinging, not just off of the vines. He's swinging in this match, but he actually manages to dropkick Wardlow outside of the ring and does dives from there. But an F10 from the outside of the ring to the inside of the ring, and once again, he does it inside of the ring. So twice, two F10s. Wardlow's man bun even comes undone in this one, and Wardlow gets the win and continues on, advances, moves on in this World Title Tournament. No big surprise there with Wardlow advancing. We get a recap of Eddie Kingston's promo on Jon Moxley, and they will fight at Full Gear in a I Quit match. So we're gonna pay pay-per-view money for this one again. I suppose that's what we're gonna do. But Jon Moxley, he gives his promo for this November 7th match, and he lets us know that he's going to make Eddie Kingston actually say that he quits this time. I liked the camera angles here, the lighting. It seemed appropriate. He says he will be his friend with Eddie Kingston, or he's going to end him. Well, I mean, you guys are going into a match, in an I Quit match, and I can't imagine that you guys are going to come out as friends. But you know what? You guys go back a long way. So I guess sometimes you just got to set your friends straight, I suppose, is the case there. But good energy in that, so that's good. A time for another World Title Tournament match. Sonny Kiss, he has replaced his tag team partner because he tested positive. So Sonny Kiss gets this opportunity, possibly getting a world championship match. If he wins and advances and so forth, he's going to be taking on Kenny Omega. Not just Kenny Omega, Justin Roberts goes into an extremely obnoxiously long list of accomplishments for Kenny Omega. There was two girls dancing on stage, I think in bikinis, and they were sweeping because why? Well, that's because Kenny Omega he's the cleaner again. He's serious. He's Mr. Serious. He's going to devastate in this match, and that's what he's planning on doing. And he's going in the air against Sonny Kiss, so I hope Sonny Kiss came prepared. He didn't do a big dance routine like he did when he fought for the TNT Championship against Cody Rhodes. So, hey, we're going to see what he's going to do. The cleaner is back. And one move, that's all it took, the one-winged angel, one move, and that's it. They said on commentary no one's kicked out of it. And that means that Kenny Omega has advanced to the semi-final round here, picking up a win, and he raises the hand. So he picks up the hand of Sonny Kiss as well and gives him a hug and gives him some points because it's Kenny Omega. What are you going to do, right? No big surprise there. I don't think anybody expected Kenny Omega to lose this match. Everyone pretty much knows where this is going. It's going to be Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega will be going to the finals. Well, I mean, he's going to end up facing his former tag team partner there. Look at this. I finally freaking got my phone to show my what's going on here. So now I can actually see the chat. Okay, so if you're in chat and you want to say something, I can actually see it now. I don't know why my computer hates me. It does though. Technology has failed me, but it's okay. It seems to be working and I'm all right with that. Tony interviews Orange Cassidy. It's not much of relevance here. He says he's going to fight Cody Rhodes again. And that's essentially all you need to know. Dasha is outside. There's a car pulling up. It's Cody Rhodes and Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson, he's got the dad shorts on, with the belt and tucked in. I think his shirt was tucked in. Man, my goodness. I mean, that's some grandpa looks right there. And Cody Rhodes acting very serious, a little too serious. I know he went to the limit with his opponent last week with Orange Cassidy, and they're going to have a match again next week, but it was a little too serious. Cody has fought some serious opponents, some big opponents in the past. He should not be having this much trouble fighting against Orange Cassidy. But yes, thank you in chat. The background does look awesome. It is very blue. Are you feeling blue? I'm feeling quite blue. I got my blue shirt on and everything. But Cody has put on some pounds apparently. Not as in he doesn't have his six-pack anymore. He's just bulking up apparently. And he says that AEW is a light heavyweight company. Is it? Because they got some big monsters there as well. So I think that they would disagree. And especially some of Cody Rhodes' previous opponents in the past would disagree with that sentiment as well. Eddie Kingston, he's backstage cutting a promo, laughing about Moxley. They keep bringing up the idea that these guys are pals and they're friends and, that they're real tight and everything. But at the same time, they're mad at each other. And Eddie, he doesn't forget about his family. Just talking about his own personal group that he has there. But wouldn't Moxley be a part of that? I don't know. But Eddie says that he had to become a liar. He had to become a cheater. And the ends justify the means. And now, because of that, he's getting everything that he wants, which is true. So good on him. He is correct. All his whining, complaining, and crying has actually gotten him some main event matches and another main event match. Can you believe this? Eddie Kingston, 2020, in a main event challenging for AEW Championship in the main event against an undefeated man of Jon Moxley. Wow. And it's going to be on pay-per-view, so be prepared. Be ready for that, my man. Are you ready for another world title tournament match? Well, Here it is. It's Eddie Kingston. He's on commentary, and he's he has like a backwards hat on and a jersey. He looks like he's celebrating the 20-year anniversary of Limp Bizkit's Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water album, which just celebrated an anniversary. An album that has a lot of history as it pertains to professional wrestling. It is Rey Fenix versus Penta L0M. That's part of his boys. That's part of his family he was talking about. It's brother versus brother here in this match. It's high flying. It's good action. I love both of these guys when they're with each other, when they're fighting each other, regardless. But this is kind of fabricated stakes to me. Not the stakes that we're going to be having later with Chris Jericho and MJF, but the stakes as far as who's going to win this match, who's going to advance, because you know that it doesn't really matter who is going to advance in this match. And why is that? Well, because neither one of these guys are making it to the finals. It's a good match, but like I say, it doesn't mean a lot in the context of the show. But yeah, it's Rey Fenix. He wins and he advances, so good for him. I guess Rey Fenix is easier to say than Penta L0M, or at least for me it is. Now we get a recap of the best friends and Kip Sabian and the arcade incident where the arcade machine was broken and Kip Sabian was mad. He was sad. He was very upset. There was tears. There was anger. There was frustration. And that was a very quick recap, and it's good. We could have forgotten about it. I would have forgotten about it. I would have been completely okay with not ever thinking about that. But we move on to Alex Marvez interviewing Colt Cabana and the Dark Order Dorks. You got the bald and buff guy and the long hair guy. This was of absolutely no consequence. And are you ready? It's time for another world title tournament match. This entire show is just packed full of them. So if you like it, if that's the kind of thing that you're into, tournament stuff, well, get ready for more. It's Colt Cabana with Evil Uno taking on Adam Page. And Adam Page, he's got a lot riding on this. He's a cowboy. And cowboys, they ride on horses. Yes. I don't know if Adam Page does. Actually, I do know that he does because I've seen him in AEW ride on a horse. He's going to ride his high horse right up into this. It was a good wrestling match. The commentators, unfortunately, briefly had to mention, Britt Baker's coming up and other things later in the show. And I understand that they have to do this, but I kind of feel like when it's an important, pivotal match that you should really focus on that. That's really my only gripe there. But of course, as you know, Adam Page advances, and we'll soon see his old tag team partner, former tag team champions of Adam Page together. Now we have the recap of Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. They didn't go into the promos. They really just showed Sammy Guevara putting all the pictures on the wall and burning pictures, that whole trite thing that they do on television shows and in wrestling, apparently. Now we move on to Taz. He has a up on the ramp promo with Brian Cage and Ricky Starks as part of Team Taz, as you will. And Ricky Starks says it's Darby Allin's got to pay. He's going to make this face-painted boy pay. So I thought the feud was completely over. I thought that it was just over and done with. But guess what? It, however, is not over with. They're continuing this. It just seemed when they had their last match and there was a clean win and then they didn't really do anything else with it, that was done, over with, buried, put them in the body bag. No, we'll have a body bag later in tonight, but yeah. So they're going to continue the feud, which makes total sense. I wish they would have just stuck with that in the first place, but they'll be back to it soon. So it's Britt Baker with Rebel taking on Kylie King. Britt looked great. She looked focused. She was on point. It didn't take her very long. She got that locked jaw, and that was it. It was a pretty quick match. Britt Baker gets the win. That's awesome. Now, let's talk about some body bag. Some body bags. Let's make this plural. Okay, we got Steve O. Yes, that's Steve O. And Darby Allin. So what are they going to do? Is Steve O going to do something crazy? Well, no. Darby Allin's got to show out for his boy. And you know what? I follow Steve-O on social media and see some of the stuff that he's done, and he talks about the crazy things that he's done in the past, and I'm like, my goodness. And when fans get around Steve-O, they want to prove how crazy they are as well, and you will see them do crazy things like get kicked in the groin by Steve-O for fun. I don't think I would do that. Maybe I would. I'm not sure. There was enough money involved and I knew I was going to be on a video, I might do it. But Darby Allin does not get kicked in the lower regions. No, he puts himself in a body bag up on a skate ramp, up high, whatever those things are called, you know, when you and you do the thing. I was always horrible at skateboarding. One time I rode a skateboard and I fell off. I broke a tooth off and it like went up in my lip. And then I just was like, man, this is not for me. This is not a thing that I want to do. That was before I got my adult teeth, thankfully. But yes. Anyways, he puts himself in a body bag up on top of this. What is it? A half pipe? What is it called? I don't know. But he does this and then rolls himself down. But why? I don't know why he did it. Is anyone going to think that this is a good idea, that this is something that you should do? I don't. I absolutely don't. And I just saw myself with this blue background. This looks pretty nice. I could try out some other colors. But I'm having such bad luck with technology tonight, I don't want to risk it. I'm already running with both fingers crossed. And I don't want to be crossed as we race here into the main event. FTR is on commentary, arguably the worst place for them to be on this show, having them do commentary. I'm not saying that they're bad at talking or they're bad at commentary, but if I was going to pick one thing for them to do, this wouldn't be it. And yeah, let's do this. Butcher and Blade are coming out for this main event match, but for some reason, the Bunny is back with him. Now, I did watch part of Dark last night. I caught the Ricky Starks and David Ali match. But I missed this. I missed that Bunny has left QT Marshall and is back with Butcher and Blade. Why? Why, might you ask? Or any rational, sane person would say, but why is she back with them? Well, I will ask you this question. Why did Bunny leave them in the first place? Well, she, for some reason, went to go be tag team partners with Brandy Rhodes, because Brandy Rhodes needed a tag team partner. And Brandy's not as bad about this now, but my goodness, a few months ago, she would find herself on every show for no reason whatsoever. And she decided she needed to be in a tag team. Why? Because they wanted to do a women's tag team tournament. Why? Because Brandy wanted to be featured. But now that that's over and done with, QT Marshall ain't doing nothing. When was the last time QT Marshall did anything important on any of these shows? Yeah, so we got the Bunny back with Butcher and Blade. Now, Butcher and Blade, I wouldn't necessarily say that's the best place for her to be, but it's a pretty good way to get her back on television because, well, the Young Bucks need someone to beat. So there you go. Now this main event is the big 4-pack tag team challenge that they set up last week that was just horribly put together. I don't know who thought that this was a good idea to structure putting the match together this way. As far as how we got to this match, it was a mess. But it's Butcher and Blade versus the Dark Order guys of Alex Reynolds and John Silvers versus Private Party versus the Young Bucks. Lots of chaos in this match. I can't necessarily say if it was good or bad. There was just a lot. There was a lot of stuff happening in there, a lot of action. So if you like a lot of things happening on the screen, it had that. But the Young Bucks, of course, get the win. Everyone, I think, got their entrance except for maybe Private Party. The Young Bucks, of course, got theirs. And yes, so this means that the Young Bucks essentially beat all of these guys in one fell swoop. So you don't really need a tournament if you can just beat everybody at once in the main event. And they will fight FTR for the titles at Full Gear. Who booked it this way? It was so simple. The Young Bucks were there. They were loved by the AEW audience. FTR loved by an older school, an older mentality, I guess you could say, fan base. It was a natural fit. You could have the good guys of the Young Bucks versus the bad guys of FTR. But for whatever reason, they did the most convoluted way to get there, a very convoluted direction. It could have been very simple and straightforward, to the point, really get the emotion out of it. They didn't do that. So FTR, they come into the ring with their tag titles, and they look at the number one contenders of the Young Bucks. FTR offers beers to the Young Bucks, but the Young Bucks swat it away. And keep in mind that the Young Bucks have been bad guys for all of these weeks, and so has FTR. Yeah. And the Young Bucks swat the beers out of the way, of course, because of course they don't want to drink that. And FTR knew this. And then some old man with a mask and a hat in disguise comes in the ring and helps out FTR. Who is it? Who could it be? The guy doesn't have a big enough belly to be Jim Cornette. No, it's Tully Blanchard, their manager. What? Why? What was the point of that? Oh no, who is the guy that looks exactly like their manager? It's their manager. What? He takes his mask off, and we find out that under this disguise, it's Tully Blanchard. And we're asked by the commentators, will the Young Bucks be able to compete after this brutal beatdown? I mean, they put the chair on one of the Bucks' legs and then jumped on. I mean, 2 weeks from now, are the Supermen of the Young Bucks going to be able to rise up to the occasion and challenge for the tag team championships? Both of these tag teams think that they're the best tag teams in the entire world. Will they be able to compete? I mean, are you freaking serious? My goodness. And you know what? I skipped over a segment, and I'm going to save it for the end right here. It was the actual dinner, Debonair. And I felt like I might have an aneurysm talking about this, so I wanted to save it to the end because I don't want to cheat you out of any quality content on my reviews. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this to end this out. Chris Jericho and MJF. This happened actually before the women's match. And yes, the two men, they both kind of want to all be in the inner circle together. MJF wants to be in there. Chris Jericho wants MJF to be in the inner circle. So they decided, we're going to settle this by just having a steak dinner together, and Velma is their waiter. They asked to have a well-done steak. Does MJF? Chris Jericho wants a medium well steak. MJF wants a medium steak. Jericho wants a medium rare, then a rare. Then they want it cooked blue, whatever that means. Is that a real term? I've never heard of such a thing. I would not do that because I feel like that would make me incredibly sick and possibly need to go to the hospital. We're told that there's going to be an Inner Circle town hall meeting next week. Oh, please, no, don't do this to me. They bond over dunking on Orange Cassidy. And then, inexplicably, they break out into a dance number with singing, like a Frank Sinatra type thing, dance number with dancers in the background and dancing like this or whatever it is. And they go back to the dinner table and they get their steaks from Thelma, and they're completely uncooked. And that's supposed to be funny? I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. What is this? What are they doing? Do they think that this is what's going to get them audience members? I mean, people who already like them. I mean, it was humorous, but I mean, on national television as a thing to advertise to and draw people in, like, hey, you're not going to want to miss this. What is this? Oh, it's such a mess. It's such a mess. It's such a mess. But that was AEW Dynamite. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you haven't liked the video already and you're watching, hey, I see there's people watching this video that haven't liked it yet. And, you know, that's just going to break my heart. I'm going to be blue. I'm going to be so blue in my emotional state. I can feel it infiltrating my emotions right now. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good night, have a good week, and I will catch you next time.